Volkswagen Passat B5.5 model, which is a facelift of B5. This is 1.8 turbo petrol or gasoline engine. Today we're going to replace fuel filter in this car. Unlike diesel cars where fuel filter is located under the bonnet, with the petrol it's located just by the fuel tank, just underneath here. So we're going to jack up the car, change the fuel filter and be happy. When you jack up the rear of your car, it's good to choke your front wheels. I use special chokers. You use anything, brick, piece of wood, so the car doesn't roll forward. I use pieces of wood here as well. Jack up the car. Never use jack on its own. Use stands. I'm going to show you happy position for a stand. Also, I'm going to show you where to put your stand. You see this solid metal? Just put it here and then take your jack and carefully rest the car on it. As a backup, I put jack under the spring just here, so we use jack and stand to keep it safe. So our filter is under this cover. Let's take the cover off. Now when everything nice and cozy here, come here, we'll find this fuel filter where it is. As you can see, this cover here, this side of it held on 10mm nuts. One is here in this gap and another one is just over here. You don't have to take whole thing on the other side. It's enough if you just undo these two nuts and then pull down this cover. One more thing, it's important when you get under the car, because when you change your fuel filter, if your head is under there, if fuel can leak, so use protective glasses. I'm taking my own risk, it's on my own risk, so use glasses, it's better. Found that this nut's a bit rusty, so we use some WD-40 to lubricate them. And let's take the nuts out. 10mm socket. And take it out. This is what they look like. It's a nut with a washer all together. And you take the other one off as well. Now with this, pull this cover down, and this is your fuel filter. That's where fuel comes in, that's where it comes out. As you can see, the connections of this covered here, they have hoses and they have clamps. This is a little bit different to Audi 1.8 turbo. With Audi you have like a clip-on hoses with a little lever. You push to take it off. You push this lever in and then push onwards, push the lever in and take it off. Here we have hoses and clamps. I'm not sure if this original connection, or maybe it was original was broken and it's custom made. Please comment on this video. I'd like to find out, because this is what discovered. On both sides we have clamps and bolts, which I believe is a more secure connection. I quite like it. So, and then there is a bracket around the filter which held on two 10mm bolts. So let's take these two bolts out first to release the filter. Before we take those clamps and bolts out, of course it's good to lubricate them. You've seen one of the bolts on a clamp is rusty, so I'll just lubricate it. Now I took these two bolts out, so air filter is hanging on the fuel lines now. So we can take this bracket off. And this is the bracket for fuel filter. Two 10mm bolts and the bracket. These clamps are 6mm bolts. Of course you can use flathead screwdriver, but of course it's more grip with a 6mm socket. So what I'm gonna do now is just release these clamps. One, and two. Well, now we have fuel leaking. We can catch it with some cloth or tissues. Be careful when you take this fuel line off, it will leak, it might spray on you, so put some clothes on or tissues around it and then catch it all. I'm gonna show you how much it will leak now. This is our new filter. Arrows show direction of the fuel, so same as there, fuel comes from here towards here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take off this intake cap and we're gonna swap This is our old filter. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the intake pipe and put the new filter in. There is a cap on another side, so nothing will leak. And then we'll take the old filter from this side. With the one fuel line on the filter, tighten it up, don't overdo it, don't break the thread, make sure it just sits nice and tight, but don't break it. And then take the other side off this cap and put this hose back on. Put the clamp. And tie the clamp up. Find the happy place for the clamp and then tighten it up. Oh, but please don't smoke around here, because this is a fuel, this is gasoline or petrol. Please remember, it's flammable. So we'll just take it to recycling place and let's put the bracket back on. 2 bolts go back on the filter. Easy peasy. This bracket and put it back on the filter, bolt back in and put it where it should be. Just put the bolt inside there. Then we take second bolt, drop it somewhere. Second bolt. Then we take second bolt. Then we take second bolt and put it in. Now start your car, let fuel run through the fuel system. It might take some time because it needs to fill up. You might get some misfire. And now it's all nice and running. Filter filled up with fuel now. It was struggling a little bit because it was empty. Now it's all nice and running. Take our 10mm bolts and put them back on with the cover. Nice and easy. Start with your hands so you don't break the thread. Our jack from under the spring, jack it up from here to take it off the jack stand.
Cheese!
Raise the car a little bit so you can release the stand, and then carefully release. Nice and easy. Job done. Your fuel filter is changed. For more stuff about this car and some other cars, visit my website wilsonmotors.com. See you there. Thank you for watching.